Hi, hope you remember me. My name is Ruth and today I'm going to show you how to use the passive voice in English. Why do we need passive? It could be because we don't care who did the action, or it is obvious who did the action. For example, the man was arrested last night. We know the police do arrests, so we don't need to say who arrested the man. Secondly, maybe because we need to focus on the receiver of the action, not the doer of the action. For example, the dog food is spilt all over the deck. I don't care who spilt the food, I just care that the dog food is all over my deck. The dog food is the receiver or the experiencer of the action. I don't know who did the action. Also, we might use this in a formal way because we don't want to embarrass the doer, so we need to be polite. For example, at work you might say, the photocopier has been broken. Even if I know who broke the photocopier, I want to be polite because I'm at work. Especially if it's my boss who broke the photocopier, I definitely want to focus on the machine, not the person. How do we form the passive? Well, after the subject of the sentence, you need a form of be. Is, are, was, were, being, has been, plus ed, or the past participle. The form of be plus the past participle. You change the form of be, but you never change the past participle. It always stays the same. Do you know your past participles? Many of them finish in ed, but some of them don't, like known, spilt, taken, brought, taught, bound, and very common ones are gone, done. All of these words are in the past participle. Here is a sentence in active voice. We have the lion who is doing the action. Here is the action, the verb, and here is the object, the receiver or the experiencer of the action. Let's put this sentence into passive. The lamb is now the subject, but remember this subject now is not doing the action, it is receiving or feeling, experiencing the action. The verb is now in passive voice, form of be plus past participle. The lion is now called the agent. So if you go to a grammar book, it is called the agent. The lamb is eaten by the lion. How about we put this same sentence into present perfect? The lamb has been eaten by the lion. Notice again, you change the form of be, but eaten, the past participle, does not change. That was present perfect. Present continuous, the lamb is being eaten. Past simple passive. The lamb was eaten. Let's look at some sentences in real language. You often find passive voice in newspapers or journalism texts. For example, it was alleged that the thief stole nearly $200,000 worth of jewellery. Or, nearly $200,000 worth of jewellery was stolen from the Central Diamond store on Main Street. That's the type of sentence you see in newspapers or news articles online. It's also very common to find passive voice in academic writing. It's generally understood to be a feature of academic writing. So, in 2002, it was found that many international students were unhappy with their results. And the second sentence, much research has been conducted into the difference between men and women. Here is a reference table that might be useful for you. Don't hesitate to contact me if you'd like me to send you this table. It shows you 6 common verb tenses, a sample sentence in active voice, then the same sentence in passive voice, and then an example which is more real life. Now, I'd like to follow this table with one that looks at other verb forms. For example, the lion can eat the lamb. In passive becomes the lamb can be eaten. And a real example, the coffee can be made on this machine. In some ways, this is easier because after a modal verb in English, we always use the base verb, be. Let's read the column on the right. The coffee can be made on this machine. The trade agreement might be achieved if both parties compromise. When will the game be held? Who's going to get married? She could have been badly hurt. I'm glad she was wearing a seatbelt. The procedure needs to be carried out according to these guidelines. And the truck has to be repaired before midnight. Notice in the question forms, we have to switch the auxiliary verb and the main verb with the subject around because it's a question. Also notice who's going to get married. We often use the word get instead of be. So thank you for watching. I hope this presentation was useful. Remember also, don't overuse passive voice. Use it when your focus is on the receiver of the action, not the doer of the action. I'm here to help. Please contact me if you need to. Thank you.